My name's Paulo Gonzalez and I'm doing audio and sound design for the PARASOMNIA Oculus Rift experience. There are a few aspects to the child's bedroom. First of all, we have the outdoor sounds, and then we have the sounds inside the room, and also the sounds that come from the point of view of the first person as well. So with all of those, we have to approach them really differently. Like, we have to make sure that we use all the correct types of sound profiles and reverbs, because it's really important that we make this sound as real as possible, because one theme that's been going through this entire project, something that we're constantly reminding ourselves of, is that we want this to be extremely immersive. We want the person to be as immersed as possible. You could say it was like a bit of a journey to get to where the sound of the first person sounds are now. From the very beginning, we wanted to take a binaural approach. So we wanted the sense of actual 3D sound, but we weren't able to get our hands on any of that equipment. But we found that there are other ways that you can really create binaural sound, and it's truly binaural. In fact, I'm really impressed with what we were able to come up with, because in some ways it puts more into consideration than what a couple of silicone ears can do. To begin with, we got two microphones and we placed them next to the ears of the talent voice actors, but there was something still not realistic enough about it. But I came to realize that there are really unique things about the way we perceive our own voice. When people say, I really hate the way I sound recorded, it's because literally they're hearing different frequencies and they never get to hear the way, the outsider perceives. So I tried to work out what are the fundamental frequency differences that there are, and I found out that if you put a 2 or 3K dip, it gives the sound more of a sensation that it's actually coming from the person who's wearing the headphones, as opposed to it being a sound that's generally next to you. Also, the biggest breakthrough, I guess, the epiphany, was the way we hear our own voices, and especially the bass. With musical production, we've used a technique called mid-side. Typically, you put the bass in the center, and that leaves more room on the outside. However, I realized that it actually is the same with our own physiology. When we're talking or when we're breathing, the bass resonates around our skull, and we hear it from the inside of our head. And the other higher frequencies kind of travel out the side and move back into our ears. So combining those techniques, I managed to fine-tune it so when you put on the headphones and when you hear the breathing, it literally feels like and it sounds like it's coming from your own mouth, which even without wearing the Oculus, it's such a unique, and it really is something that I'm sure is going to add richness and depth to this experience. I was reading this article, someone from Oculus Rift, and they were describing the elements of what makes something extremely immersive, or what they describe as giving a sense of presence. And he mentioned 5 points, and none of them included the audio, which I found very strange, but also I took it as a challenge, and I know that the rest of the audio team as well, that gave them a sense of determination to really do something special and to really prove that with good audio you can really make it bone-chilling, especially for horror, which depends so much on the sound being scary. People want to be absorbed into these games, and it's important that we make sure that we can do that with the audio. We wanted to share a bit of ourselves, so we've been creating these production blogs just to show where we're at, to show the mentality of the people and the minds behind the game. So you can really feel that Parasomnia is something that is not just another horror game, but it's something that there are real people behind, people who are fans of the genre, and they're not doing it just for the money, they're doing it to make a name for themselves. And we hope that you're excited as much as we are. Well, being a child's bedroom, horror is all about cliches, and we all love them, especially the truly classic ones. The era that it's set is in the 1950s, so I really wanted to take advantage of that and go for a schlocky approach where there's a music box and there are wind-up toys and there are dollies that are talking. So there's that sort of theme going through it, but at the same time I wanted to take more grand influences, like those kind of old dissonant, almost violent piano lines where it's full of very powerful, evocative movements, and tie it together with, I guess, modern production. And that's kind of the approach I'm taking from it now. At the end of the day, though, I want it to be something that you listen to it and it takes you to when you were a kid, afraid of what was under the bed or inside your closet. So, yeah, I hope I can achieve that.